Preparing for Advantage, a book written by G. Richard Schell, informs its audience on how to prepare for negotiations and what to look out for during negotiations. To prepare for a negotiation, one must first set a high expectation, as setting a low one will psychologically affect one's mentality and cause that person to do a poorer job. When preparing for the negotiation, researching the standards and social norms, as well as researching for supporting data and arguments, are very important, as being ignorant of those subjects can have a very devastating effect on the negotiation. Now, another factor one must consider are relationships. Building relationships as well as analyzing the current state of a relationship are both vital in securing future negotiations as well as the current one. However, the negotiator can fall into relationship traps, such as trusting too quickly, letting others make one feel guilty, and mixing big businesses with personal relationships. G. Richard Schell further stresses the importance of being trustworthy and being fair to those who are fair and letting those who are treating you unfairly know about it. Finally, the preparation comes to an end with the final chapter of leverage. Everything here is about getting an advantage over your opposition. For which side is time a factor, for which side has more to lose. Part 2 of the book is all about the negotiation process. It talks about the nature of exchanging information with your opposition, whether or not you are over or under giving information, making sure one is not blabbering and is asking effective questions. Soon the book moves on to the opening and the closing of the negotiation. Suggestions are given to questions such as, when does a person open and close a negotiation? How does a person avoid an early closing of a negotiation? Before the author ends the book, he emphasizes the importance of ethics once again and tells the readers of its importance and the necessity to uphold those ethics. The book swings between neutral and formal diction, though neutral is far more prevalent in this book. One example for neutral diction is on page 47, paragraph 3. If you are nevertheless pressed into agreeing into a standard, qualify it or phrase it in your own words and use the broadest terms possible, leaving ample room for interpretation later. This helps to get more personal and more attention from the reader without losing the reliability of the author. The author also adds stories to his book, which further proves his goal of getting the reader to become more comfortable and to help them understand the concepts. It then later moves on to formal diction. For example, on page 51, paragraph 2. Acceptance of institutionalized bargaining standards is a hallmark of social membership in a given industry or group. This helps to establish more reliability and trust with the author, as using formal language will help prove his professionalism. Was an enjoyable and interesting read for me. It did not have many complicated terms, so I was able to understand the main message and what the writer was trying to tell us. I really liked the neutral diction, as I felt there was more personal and understanding relationship with the author, while still being able to trust his judgment. Furthermore, sharing his stories about negotiations also helped to gain my interest and attention. There was one especially interesting story. It was about a village near a mountain, and two men were arguing over how many pigs were owed to one another. These kinds of stories always entertain me and make me curious to how they end, and they also appear quite often in each chapter. People who dislike more informative non-fiction books may dislike this book, as its main goal is to teach. However, there are stories like the one I said before, so their reading experience may not be as bad as they thought. People who like more factual books also may dislike this book due to the stories added.
but this book also has facts in it. So their reading experience should not be as horrible as they thought. People who enjoy a relaxing read should enjoy this book due to the stories and the absence of complex terms. And the lessons taught could also be applied to real life. So this book can actually fulfill a wide variety of demands.